I want to give infinite honor and respect and infinite admiration and love and praise and worship to the Most High Yahweh in the name of our Savior, His Son, Yahawashi. Call Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Kakodash, Bahashem Yahawah, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. I always want to give praise. Praise is unprecedented in terms of what we have to be doing at this particular time. This is your brother Obadiah, Yahweh, and Most High laid a lesson on me, and I've been struggling with this a little bit in terms of how to present the information. But we're going to do what the Ruach HaKodesh tells us to do when we need to do it. I want to say salutations to the Akim and to the apostles that have been bringing this truth out decade in and decade out. I always have to say it because it's so true. And the way they have been performing in terms of the accuracy of bringing forth this truth of ours that we're operating in, I have to commend them on the fact that their stick-to-itiveness is just awesome in terms of the way they hold down the name of Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. None of the other organizations and camps have been diligently operating in that capacity where they stick to the doctrine in a very disciplined way. And they've been doing it for decades and decades. And they deserve the respect and the admiration for doing so. And I want to say salutation to the hopeful elect and the elders and the bishops and the elder bishops and those that are out there doing the work and bringing it out, and the like-minded brethren that are also bringing this work out in preaching and teaching on the highways and byways, on the unicorn of information, and all those things as well. And also to the speckled bird of the Israelite foreigners and those that are scattered around the world, the Most High, who will be bringing us all together soon. We're inside the door, and we're just about ready to get closer to the prophetic processes of coming to the end time of the seventh trump. And when that sounds, man, it's a wrap. So, you know, we're hearing and we're getting fruitful information and doctrine and preaching and teaching is coming from the Akim in this truth that are bringing it out the way it's supposed to be brought out. And we all strive to try to continue to do so as best we can. So it's your brother Obadiah, Yahweh, and I'm trying also to do the same thing. This portion of my commentary, where I'm going today, is I'm going to try not to be long on this, but it has to be you have to pay close attention to this, because again, I get specific types of information when the Most High lifts up the spiritual blockage from me and also from others. I see my brothers out here, and they are doing extremely well in terms of breaking down the scriptures, the doctrine, the precepts, and bringing you the word in reference to what is to befall all of us as the cup of wrath is poured out in order for this particular eonic period to end, for Yahawashi to come through. Now, it has to get bad, terribly bad, and horribly bad beyond what we have been told as the days of Noah. Now, that's going to be in that realm, but it's going to be worse than that. And we know that. And the brothers have been bringing this out diligently and effectively. And, you know, you can't, if you can't understand why they're doing it, it's first of all, the main reason why they're doing it is because they're trying to reach the elect in order for this situation to be sealed. And we can move on into the new covenant where all things, including the law and everything, will be brought back to perfect. And this is what we're striving for. And so you don't want to stress on the fact that they're emphasizing the disastrous activities that are going to befall the world, not just this particular hemisphere, but the entire world. And as you can see it unfolding at this time, And my Akim brethren from various organizations who are in the truth and filtered through the real truth, not the ones that are being bugged out, they're doing their role. They have to perform that role. Everything and everyone has already been predestined in its capacity to do and fulfill the lot that they're in order to bring the truth forward and the prophecies to come to a fruition. So Yahawashi and the powers will show up, and then that's a wrap, and we're on our way. So you got to understand that the brethren are going to be bringing forth some high-level detrimental advice and scriptures that, if you're not well-founded and grounded in this truth of ours that we operate in, then it could become very problematic to you in terms of you could misstrew it and misunderstand it as being a form of scare tactic to you or fear mongering, which is not. They're not fear mongering you, but what they're trying to do is get you spiritually startled in a way where you will reflect, come back to a remembrance if you're of the truth and selected in a predestinated fashion, and wake up and then follow what's going on. Because Jake has a big problem. Now, when we say Jake, we're talking about the seed of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that encompasses my understanding of talking about the 12 tribes of Israel when I say Jake. Now, we know everyone's not Judah, but there's multiple actual nations within the 12 tribes. But we're not going to digress and go into the details of that at the moment. But what you do have to understand is when I say Jake, I'm referring to the Israelites, okay? Now, think about Israelites, which is real strange and kind of crazy and quirky, is the fact that, you know, the way Jake operates right now in this hemisphere during this eonic period is very, how do I say, the word is trifling to me. And it's just quite a form of spiritual retardation. And it also has carnal retardation is involved in it as well. All right, let me give you a perfect example. You know, Esau Edom has come to the point where he has decided that they don't want to mandate the wearing of face covering at this particular time. But what does Jake do? Jake still wears a face covering. Jake still does the extreme of whatever the narrative or mandate is. Jake goes way over. And when you talk to Jake about it, what does Jake do? I'm just doing me, or I'm protecting myself, or I'm being safe. I mean, I understand that if your mindset is blocked spiritually and very much partially on the carnal side as well, you're going to operate in this manner. But you know, what I'm seeing and what I'm getting from the Ruach HaKodesh and Holy Spirit is Jake likes this system in terms of feeling that it can be managed. Jake thinks that the little bit of liberty that Jake has and Jake gets, that if they just comply or overly comply, that they will be in a position to, you know, get some more liberty or keep the little bit of liberty that they seem to have grown accustomed to having, even though they're still being harassed, tortured, broke down, and even eliminated, you know, deleted from this earthly plane. But Jake's mindset is, well, if I show Massa that I'm agreeing with the way he want to go, I could be free a little bit more every day or every moment in time. No, you can't, and no, you won't, because they don't care for you. You are under you're under captivity, and if you can't understand that, then you're going to do what you're doing in terms of try to overly comply with something that is just absolutely ridiculous in reference to what provisions they've already relaxed and moved out the way for the next phase of what they plan to do. You know, because in the scriptures, roughly paraphrasing, says, you know, when they lie down to rest, to go to sleep, they what do? They produce and they form wickedness in their mind in order to contemplate what they're going to do next, because they can't get rest without it. Of course, that's roughly paraphrased it, and I'm not trying to butcher the scripture on that one in particular, but you know what I mean. So this is what we have going on. So, but see, the thing that we have to understand is there has to be a way to understand a method of bringing the information full circle. Now, as we give you the detailed diagram of destruction coming through the precepts in the word, in the scripture, and I'm going to touch some scriptures here in reference to speaking to those issues for both sides. You know, and let me just mention right now, because I need to, the lesson title for tonight is Yahawah. I, the Lord, do all these things. I'll say it again. Yahawah. I, the Lord, do all these things through Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. That's what the lesson is titled today. So we're going to expound on how the Lord does all these things, because he's in total control of everything that goes on, both sides. So when the Akim go in and tell you about the terror of the Lord, how do you say his terror name? El Shaddra. El Shaddra. So when El Shaddra, demon-like power, which comes from the Most High, Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, when that comes, he's doing all things. Every portion, every aspect of it is his glory and his power that he's bringing forth. But see, the thing that we also need to accentuate, and we also need to disclaim when we do our teaching and when we do our preaching and when we read our precepts and we bring you these this food for the sheep that are supposed to eat it, only them. We're not talking to bug outs or Edomites that don't have anything to do with the truth, and there's no need to discuss or communicate with them anyway about it, because it doesn't pertain to them. But okay, when we do bring out what level of judgment the Most High is levying on the entire surface of this planet that he created, we also know that he also has answers in his solutions, in his formula for you to be able to escape Jacob's trouble, as he has said. And he said, he's going to do what he has to do, but Jacob will be saved out of it. Okay, so you know the scripture. I ain't got to go into big detail. I'm talking to the elect. I'm talking to those that are studied and they know this. As I said before, I don't do frills and sills. I'm just going to bring in the precepts in the word, and I'm going to teach you what it is that we're dealing with. Okay, so when the Most High brings judgment, as he did with, let's take Joseph, for example, okay? When we talk about when Joseph was in Egypt and he was working for Potiphar, and he was in charge of, viceroy in charge of everything that was going on in Egypt at the time. And the Pharaoh had a dream about a particular cow. One cow was very skinny and malnutrition, and that represented the famine. And then another cow was shown to be very fat and healthy and well-fed, and that was shown to be the times of plenty, okay, in terms of the harvest and what was available. So, now if you think about it, when the Most High showed that dream to Pharaoh, and then Joseph got the interpretation, he got answers from the Most High. As I said in another lesson prior to this a while back, he got answers. Okay, so when he got his answers, he got the truth that came through for him. Okay, so when he got that truth, he also knew that the famine was coming. Okay, he knew that it was going to be a time when he was going to have to deal with nothing was going to be available to sustain the multitude of people during the time that they were in Egypt, as well as the Hebrew Israelites that were on the outskirts of the area of Egypt as well. But when Joseph interpreted that dream, he got an answer. So what I'm telling you is, when the Most High tells you he's going to do something, yes, he's going to do it and hit on his timeline. But let's make sure we understand this as well. He always gives you a way out if you are selected and chosen by the Most High in a predestinated fashion. Now, if you are predestined to go through this period of time when the destruction levies the world as it does, then that's your lot, and you have to go through that. So that's why the brothers, they bring out the precepts and the truth in the way that they do, and they are accentuating the destruction that's coming to try to jar your spiritual mind to wake up and say, you need to fall in line and start getting into why and what's going on and how you can become saved out of it. Okay, like it says in Jacob's trouble, but he will be saved out of it. Now, so the answers are there. Now, I know that a lot of times when we teach, we don't lean heavily on the solution. We tell you to repent. We tell you what's to come. We tell you about 2/3 that are going to have to be eliminated, and they'll be brought back into the kingdom at a later date through birth. We talk about all that. But there are some aspects of preparation that the Most High is giving us, okay, and has given us in order for us to understand how to get through this tumultuous time of peril and tribulation that's coming down the pipe extremely fast. Okay, we do have the spiritual formula in order to understand what we are to do when the proverbial SH hits the fan. Okay, so we need to know that. So we need to operate appropriately in that manner. And I know the brothers are going to lean on this, and they're going to come in and they're going to start bringing you both sides of the coin. They're going to bring you the balance. They're going to tell you about the destruction, but they're going to tell you about how the elect is supposed to get through it. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the middle of that balance scale that you have, of course, is the Most High Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. And what's offered in that balance scale is the situation where what you will understand is that the answers are there in terms of what you're supposed to do. Now, what I've been given for that portion of the answer is very, very, very much in line with what we need to be doing right now, because they're doing it in heaven as they are, and we should be doing it here on earth. And that is praise, worship, and prayer. PWP, okay? Praise, worship, and prayer. Because, see, that brings the full cycle and the full impact of the power that comes from the Most High, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, and the Ruach HaKodesh. You can't get it just from prayer. You can't get it just from your works. You do have to praise the Most High, and you have to worship him. Now, you can't misconstrue, as I said before, what the form of praise and worship is in reference to how things are supposed to go. Praise and worship is a activity that has to come from within, from the mind, from the heart, from the soul, from the spirit, and it has to be given to the Most High as a major sacrifice in order for us to weather through the tribulation period that's coming, that's going to be beyond anything we can imagine. So, we have to understand, if we're not using that, because it's given to only us to do that as Hebrew Israelites, you're going to have a harder time getting through this tribulation period and this eonic period of the end time that the Most High is bringing to pass really fast. Okay, so you got to know that that engine of praise, worship, and prayer has to be implemented in a way so you can incorporate your fuel and of the scriptures and of the truth, and and incorporate the ability for you to steer clear of some of the things that you don't need to go through as the cup of wrath is poured out. Because when it is poured out, it's going to touch everything and everybody in some way. As I said before, whether it is someone in your family who may be judged severely or partially, but you may see it, you may be witness to it, or you may not, or you may hear of it, but you will understand that judgment is going to touch everyone in some way. So in order for us to be able to be protected through it, praise, worship, and prayer has to be the combination to actually get that engine rolling through that tumultuous time of tribulation. And we're going to get into some precepts here, but I just want to tell you that I'm going to speak on some answers for precept, and I'm going to also speak on some things the Most High is doing, because he, like it says, I, the Lord, do all these things. So let's get into it and look at some of the stuff that the Lord is doing. Okay, I think that would be appropriate. Okay, so let's rock on that. Now, I'm going to start off in Amos because Amos speaks to a precept that you hear quite often. So we're going to go to Amos chapter 3. Okay, and it's good to read a lot of that, not just the precept I want. Now, I go to Amos chapter 3, and I know usually hit 6 and 7, but I want to go at the top so you can hear what's going on here too. First, Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord, that Yahawah, has spoken against you, O children of Israel. See, because he's going to go to and work with the house of Israel first. That's where judgment starts, okay? O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Now, I was listening to Elder Yahawah earlier today, and he was doing a lesson against no class, no precept alone, talking about some kind of ecclesia universal wickedness that he thinks the Most High is involved in, including everyone in the world. Well, that ain't happening, so don't even spend no time. Don't waste no time with him. Use the breath of life that the Most High gave you to just bring us up, edifying like you do, Elder Yahawah. And do that. Leave that devil alone, because he don't know what he's talking about anyway. Okay, because none of that stuff works. He says, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. So that's why the brothers are always talking about the fact that, when the tribulation comes down, we're going to be dealing with a lot of judgment that's coming down on Jake, because Jake's been going off, and when Jake go off, Jake go way beyond what Esau do sometimes, more than likely, okay? Can two walk together except they be agreed? And that shows you right there. Can't just deal with everybody's doctrine, because everybody's doctrine is not going to work in what we're doing. You see what I'm saying? So, we got to be concerned about that situation. You know what I mean? Because we can't just be dealing with everybody. It just doesn't work like that. Okay, will a lion roar in the forest when he hath no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? 5, can a bird fall in the snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? In other words, a gin is also a trap or a snare, right? All right, shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? 6, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Question, shall there be evil in the city and the Lord Yahawah hath not done it? Of course he's done it. Of course he's the one controlling it, right? Let me go a little further. Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Okay? So the Most High is telling you right there, hey, can you figure this out, people? Come on. Use your brain. He is telling you he's doing everything. And not only is he doing it, but he's telling you through the prophets, which is his voice. Okay, so even though you might say, well, this is freaking me out. Okay, but so what? At the same time, you got to understand, it's not about you being freaked out. What it's about is the fact that you need to understand the severity of the point in time where we are at the same time. So we'll tell you what's coming, but we're also going to give you some answers if you stay tuned, stay in line, and pay attention. Okay. Now, where I want to go next is I want to go to Isaiah 54, because everyone knows Isaiah 55, 7, because of course the Most High is definitely showing you that he's in control of everything. So go Isaiah 45, okay? All right. And I always like to go a couple of precepts up before I get to 7, which is the precept that everyone, all Akim and my brothers always bring out. So, but I'm gonna go up, all right, to 4. Start at 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect. See, we're talking to the elect. I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. And see, this is what I'm saying. Jake doesn't understand what's going on, and they don't pay attention to what the Most High is doing. And this is a detriment to them in terms of how they're showing a level of spiritual retardation. And I've also talked about, spiritual arrested development, which falls in line with a greater detail on that. Okay? All right? As he said, all right, and I will give thee, and I am Yahawah, and there is none else. There is no power beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. That's 5. 6, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahawah, and there is none else. 7, I form the light, I create darkness, I make peace, I create evil. I, Yahawah, the Lord, do all these things, which is the title of the lesson. I, the Lord, do all these things, right? All right, so the Most High is clearly letting you know nobody else is doing anything that's beyond what he's doing. Okay, it's just not happening like that. All right, so, we need to focus on the fact that he's doing all things, right? And he is before all things, right? Let's go to Colossians, all right? We're going to go to Colossians, and I think what I'm going to do in Colossians, I like what I like there, but it's a good precept. I'm going to go to Colossians 1:17, right? Okay, so we go Colossians chapter 1 and verse 17, and it reads, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist. All right? I always read a precept above it. All right? All right, let me give it to you. For by him were all things created, and that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. So that means the Most High, like I said, he's in control of everything. And we have to give the disclaimer of that and then know that we have a way out of the things that he's providing as judgment if it's not levied on you from a predestinated platform. Okay, so you got to understand that. That's why I took you to Colossians. All right. All right, see, now I'm going to also go to Deuteronomy, and you know the one I'm going to, Deuteronomy 32:39. So go with me to Deuteronomy, and we're going to 32, and we're going to 39. All right, now, just stay with me on this one, because you know how I do it. I might give you a precept above it. I might give you a precept above and below it, but I'm going to give it to you, okay? All right, and 39, right? All right. All right, here we go. Now, let me read this here for you. All right, now here we go. I like 36. I like 36 because, no, let's go up a little bit higher, too. Let's go up to, let's go to 35 and then read down from there. All right, Yahawah, right? To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time. For the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. See, the Most High is doing this. He said, to me belongeth vengeance and recompense. He's doing that. 36. For Yahawah shall judge his people and repent himself for his servants, when he seeth that their power is gone and there is none shut up or left. All right, 37. And he shall say, where are the gods, lowercase g, their rock in whom they trusted? Right? So this is what you got. People trusting in Esau, Edom like he's some kind of god to them, right? All right, 38. Which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offering. Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. See, people wearing a mask talking about, I'm just trying to be protected. He's telling you, you want to trust in Egypt? You want to go down to Egypt and trust in them? Well, let them be your protection then. Because the Most High is not going to be your protection because if you don't trust in him. All right, 39. See now, Shalaki. All right. All right, yeah. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no power, no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. hand. So the Most High is already telling you, there's no one that can get out of his hand, and you can't stop what he's doing. He's on both. He's covering both sides, the left hand and the right hand. But there are answers. There are solutions, and there are ways for you to be saved out of it. And you need to understand that, okay? All right, let's go to Ephesians chapter 4. All right, I want to go to Ephesians 4:6. So let's go there. We're going to go to Ephesians, and we're going to go chapter 4. And I like my precept was 6. But let's see what we got. All right. All right. One power and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. So if he's in you, then you have the power through your praise, worship, and prayer to activate the protection you'll need to get through this tumultuous time that's coming very fast. Okay? That's important to understand that. That's why I gave you that precept right there, right? Let's go to, from here I want to go to Ecclesiastes, okay? Let's go to Ecclesiastes. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes, and I'm going to go to chapter 4, okay? So go with me to Ecclesiastes chapter 4. And I think I want 6. All right? Most High is trying to tell you he can cover everything that's going on with you, right? All right. Was it? Yeah. Ecclesiastes, Shalaki. Ecclesiastes chapter 8. I was going too fast, right? 8:8. Ecclesiastes chapter 8:8. Okay. There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither hath he power in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. That's fire. Let me read that again, because see, that tells you the Most High, he does all things. All right, that's Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 8. There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit. All right, listen to that. Neither hath he power in the day of death, and there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. All right, see, that was perfect in terms of what I was trying to bring to you, right? All right, so the next precept I want to go to is I'm gonna pop over here to Proverbs. And I believe I want to go to what? I think I'm going to go 16 and what, 33. I think I had that one. All right. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. Say it again. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. So in other words, the Most High is saying, he's already determined what you're going to do, where your position is, and how you're going to operate. And all he's telling you right now is, at this point, who disposing thereof is of the Lord, but the whole disposing. In other words, how your beginning is and how your end is for this eonic period during this time is all in his hand, and he's covering that. And there's no way for you to slip out of that, right? All right? Now, what did I want to go to? I think I did Isaiah 45 already. I did, but I didn't do 12. I think I wanted to pull from something from Isaiah 45:12, because I wrote that precept down too, because it was one that I felt like it had good merit. All right, that's good. Yeah, Isaiah 45:12, it says, "I have made the earth and created man upon it. Even my hands have stretched out the heavens, and all the host have I commanded. I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city, and he shall let go my captives, not for price nor reward, saith Yahawah of hosts." So, the Most High is telling you right there off the bat. He says, "Thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, and his maker asked me of things to come concerning my sons and concerning the work of my hands, command ye me. Right? The Most High is telling you right off the bat. That was 11. And I like I said, I go up to 10 too. Woe unto him that saith unto his father, what begettest thou? Question. Or to the woman, what hast thou brought forth? 11. That's why I gave you that one. Thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, and his Maker. Ask me all things to come concerning my sons and concerning my work of my hands. Command ye me. I have made the earth and created man upon it. I, even my hands, have stretched out the heavens, and all the hosts have I commanded. I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city, and he shall let go my captives, not for price nor reward, saith Yahawah of hosts. All right? So you can see right off the bat, the Most High is clearly giving you that indication and telling you, getting the end, inside out, he's covering everything. All aspects are completely under his control. That's why I wanted to go to 45 again, because Isaiah 45 is really giving you strong meat in there. I mean, and we're going to hit a lot in Isaiah, because that's primarily my focus on trying to give you both answers of what he's going to do and what way you can get out of it, because he's giving you both, okay, if you didn't know that. All right. I want to go to Galatians now, because I hadn't got there yet, but I want to go to Galatians, and I want to go to chapter 5. So meet me at Galatians chapter 5, and I want 25, which will be the precept I'm pulling. Galatians chapter 5 and verse 25. Now, you know me, I might pop up to I might do a couple precepts above it or below it, because I would like to give you the full understanding of what's going on, not only in that chapter, but also in terms of how it breaks down to where I'm giving you the precept, okay? So that's Galatians 5:25, okay? Now I'm gonna start at 13, because it's just so much meat in this, and I want to give you a full plate of food here. So just stay with me, all right? All right. So all right, 13, 5, and then I'm starting 13. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, okay? But by love serve one another. Don't walk past that. He's talking to Israel. He says, look, my brethren, ye have been called into liberty. So the Most High gives you liberty. Esau ain't giving you liberty, not with no stupid face covering. No, that's not liberty. That's more lockdown and restriction. That's not it. He says, only use not liberty for an occasion to flesh, which means to sin. You're not supposed to be doing that. And when you go against the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, you're committing a sin. You got to practice the righteous acts like in Judges chapter 5. You got to do the best you can. You know you can't keep all the law, but you keep what you can. And you got to praise, worship, and prayer. It's mandatory. You got to be doing that. Okay, all right, now, which brings me right into the second part of this, right? It says here, 14, for all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, which means he's talking about other Hebrew Israelites. You're supposed to try to love them as you love yourself. I know it's difficult, because Jake makes it very hard to love him. He really does. He puts it on you. I mean, sometimes when I talk to my Hebrew Israelite friends, they always tell me how, Jake is the worst, man. He's just through. He's just doing stuff that really make you think that Jake hates you. And a lot of times Jake do hate us. And they're supposed to be part of us. So I mean, we trying, right? All right. 15. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one another. In other words, if you're going to tear each other up, don't tear each other up to the point where you no longer exist. That's just not what you're supposed to be trying to do. Plus, the Most High is controlling all things all the time. All praises to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay. All right. He says, 16. This I say then, walk in the Spirit. See? Walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. That's a very difficult thing to do. You know, I mean, I talk to people all the time, and sometimes they send comments to me and they ask me questions. They say, Obadiah, it's like tough, man, to really try to walk in the Spirit, because they've been practicing walking in the flesh their entire life, their entire lifespan. You've been dealing in the flesh. Everything has been flesh oriented and rewarding to you. So you're not practiced in walking in the Spirit. And it's a very tough thing to do. But you have to continue to pray, praise, worship, and pray in order to be able to get the strength to do so. All right? That's where you need to be. Okay? All right, 17. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to another, to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. Right? You see that? 18. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law, under the curse of the law. See, these devils get this mixed up with like vocabulary when they talk about, you're not under the law. No, you're not under the curse of the law. That's what we're saying. But the law still applies, okay? Now, the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, okay? Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, and heresies. All of the things that make you a bug out and a demon. Okay, pretty much. So you got to stay away from that. All right. 21. Engravings, murder, envying, shalaki. Envyings, murders, drunkenness, revilings, and such like, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. All right? But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith, which means you're not a bug out, you're not a demon, you're doing the word, you're practicing righteous acts, and you're falling in line with what the Most High said. You can avoid some of the judgment that's coming on this earth and be saved out of it. So those are answers right there. You hear those answers? But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith. Meekness, temperance, against such there is no law. So you're totally protected against judgment when you practice and operate in these things. So we got to teach people how to do that. We got to teach people how to be long-suffering, how to work in goodness, how to have meek and temperance. What is temperance? You know, how you can be patient with a person who may not be a bug out, but they just might be off track a little bit. You know, to try to help them out and give them an answer. Was when they hear all destruction coming, sometimes they get worse. They get more bugged out. And then, they turn into a demon and a zombie, and then you don't know what you're going to be dealing with, okay? All right? So, 24, and they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lust. 25, if we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. 26, let us not be delirious or vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. Don't be out here trying to monetize the Most High in the Mashiach. Don't be out here trying to slip, slide, and do all kinds of wickedness in terms of rap songs and trying to tie the world into the truth. If you're a friend of the world, you're an enemy of the Most High, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. It's real plain. So you can't blend this stuff. When you start blending, you start bleeding. You can't blend, because when you blend, you're going to bleed. And you're going to bleed out, and then you're done. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So just wanted to kind of bring this full circle on that in terms of, the things that I'm trying to address to show you that you've got to be right. When you're looking into the ark of salvation, you have to understand that ark of salvation is pristine in terms of what has to be put in it. And if you're going to be put in it, and if you're going to get on an ark like a chariot, or you're going to operate within the ark of the truth and the ark of the Spirit that protects you from the Most High's judgment, then you got to be in line and you got to get it right. Okay, all right, let's go to 1 Samuel 6:9, speaking about the ark. Okay, let's go there. 1 Samuel, and I like 6:19. All right. So 1 Samuel chapter 6, verse 19, and it reads, And he smote the men of Beth Shemesh because they had looked into the ark of Yahweh. Even he smote of the people 50,000 and 70 men. And the people lamented because Yahweh had smitten many of the people with a great slaughter. Okay? So the Most High is telling you, he's doing all this. It didn't say anyone else did it. It didn't say the spiritual demon did it. He said Yahawashi and Yahweh sent Yahawashi, and they were judged and taken out for what they did wrong. They looked into the ark and they did some things that were inappropriate. When you're getting told about judgment coming, don't look into the ark as though it doesn't mean anything, because you got a lot of men out here who claim to be in the truth that they don't fear the Most High. They don't fear the Most High Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi at all. And you see what's happening in terms of the judgment that gets levied on them. So if you want to play that game, you're going to lose, because the Most High is not in favor of that situation for you trying to play him. You ain't going to play him. He's nothing to play with, okay? I'm going to Psalms now, so join me. The first place I want to go with Psalms is, I think I'm going to hit 28. Let me see, because I like the precept there that was on my mind. 28, Shalaki. I'm bugging out. Not really, but I'm just saying I'm calling out the wrong one. Let me go back to my, okay, I'm sorry, Shalaki. 125. I want Psalms, yeah, but I want 125. That's the one I was looking for. There you go. And I'm going to get 2. As the mountains are round about Jerusalem, so Yahweh is round about his people, from henceforth even forever. So he's telling you that he's round about you and he's going to protect you, but you got to understand how the Most High operates. He is going to do his will. You're not going to escape his will. But at the same time, you can be saved out of it if you're playing the way he wants you to play. And that's what the Most High is saying. I'm at Psalms 139. Go with me. 139, and I'm pulling verse 12. Yes, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. So the Most High says he's controlling both sides, left and right. You can't hide from him in the dark. You can't hide from him in the light. Whatever he decides he's going to do, he is going to do that. And there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, so you just need to get that understood. All right. What was it? 22, Psalms 22, 28. That's what I wanted. All right, yes. Psalms chapter 22, 28. I'm sorry, I had said 28, 28, and I was wrong. Shalaki on that. All right, 22, 28, and it reads, for the kingdom is Yahweh's, and he is the governor among the nations. Okay, so that means he's controlling all sides of everything. Everything going over in Ukraine. Everything's going over in the area called the Middle East, Northeast Africa. Everything's going over in the Asian countries or over to China, whatever. He's controlling all of it. Nothing is slipping past the Most High. Okay, just make sure you didn't get that wrong. Don't get it twisted. Okay, I want to go now to talk about some of the answers, but I'm gonna hit a few more of what he's doing and know that he's doing it. Let's slide on over to let's see. I was in Psalms. Yeah, let's go to Psalms 115 because I saw something I like. 115 and 3. There was a precept I pulled that really took it really spoke to my spirit. All right, Psalms 115 and 3. Right. But our power is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased. Okay? See? If I read above, it'll say, okay, let me start at the top of that one. All right, because I did read 3. So I'm going to go Psalms 115:1. Not unto us, O Yahweh, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory. See? He gets all glory and honor. No one else gets it but him. For thy mercy and for thy truth's sake. 2, wherefore should the heathen say, where is their God or their power or their, and then 3, but our power is in the heavens and hath done whatsoever he hath pleased. See? So the Most High is telling you, as I said, I, the Lord, do all these things. He's covering it all. Nothing's being left out. All right? Right now, I want to go to, did I do Ecclesiastes here? I like Ecclesiastes. Let me go there. Ecclesiastes. And I'm going to hit 3. And what was it, 11? Right. Ecclesiastes 3:11. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. So no one knows. That's the spiritual blockage part that I've told you about before. And no one's going to know anything until the Most High reveals it to you. Okay? All right? Let's see. I want Job chapter 42. All right? So go with me to Job chapter 42. All right? And 42, and I'm going to go with 2. Even though I could start at 1, which I will. Let's start at 1. Then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withheld, holden from thee. 3. Who is he that hideth counsel without knowledge? And Most High is dressing him down. Therefore have I uttered that I understood not, things too wonderful for me, which I knew not. Here I beseech thee, and will speak. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. This is Yahweh dressing him down through Yahushua. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now mine eyes seeth thee. Wherefore I abhor myself and repent in the dust and ashes. That's part of what you need to do as an answer to how you can escape some of this judgment coming. Repent in the dust and the ashes, which we are in the dust and the ashes here in the earth. So that's what we're dealing with. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I got that. Because the Most High is the power of our fathers. He is it. No one is above him. All right? Yahushua is working right next to his Father, and you best believe he's doing a fantastic job. 2 Chronicles chapter 20, and I'm going to bring in verse 6. And 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 6. And said, O Yahawah, power of our fathers, art not thou power in heaven? Question. And rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? Question. And in thine hand is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand thee? Fire. Read it again. See, that's what I'm telling you. He's doing all of it. These are the answers that you need to understand about why he's doing what he's doing and who is doing it. Okay? You got to get it down. Let's step up, people. Get on the level. And said, O Yahawah, power of our fathers, not the Edomites, not the heathens, right? Because he's telling you, are not thou power in heaven? He is. And rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? See, he's ruling over them. He ain't with them, right? And in thine hand is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand thee? Right? 7. Art not thou our God, our power, who didst drive out the inhabitants of the land before thy people Israel, and gavest it to the seed of Abraham, thy friend, forever? Okay? I had to give you that because it's just so important. All right? Now, okay, I want to go and give you an answer for some of the things that's happening, because I'm getting long on this lesson, and I don't want to take too long because Jake ain't going to stay and pay attention. So go to the book of John with me, okay? We're going to go to John. All right, so let's go there. All right, let's see. We go to John, and I'm going to pull John 14, all right? John chapter 14. John chapter 14. Now, I could read a lot of this, and I really probably will, but 27 is where I was going in terms of giving you an answer to how you could get some answers from Yahushua HaMashiach as far as tribulation, getting saved through, or making it through tribulation that the Most High is bringing, all right? Most High starts at the top, at the top, right? Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in power, believe also in me. You see how I'm telling you? In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. See, so he's telling you the answers of how you can be protected and saved. And I'm reading more. This is all red letter. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. So the Most High is telling you, when he is going to come through with a rod of iron, he is wanting separation and variance and setting family members against each other. But in the long run, he's giving you the answer to don't be weary too much, because he's going to still bring to you what you need. Okay, you're not going to lose him. Okay, all right. 4, and whether I go, ye know, Shalaki. And whether I go, ye know, and the way ye know. Okay? And Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? And Yahawashi said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. 7, if ye had known me, ye should know my Father also, and from henceforth ye know him and have seen him, because he's the image of the Father, right? Philip saith unto him, Lord, show us the Father, and it suffereth us, right? Yahushua said unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me? Philip questioned. He that has seen me hath seen the Father, and now sayest thou, then show us the Father, right? How are you saying that, right? 10, believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but of the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. In other words, the Most High is telling you, he and the Father are one mind. They're one mind. They're not the same. He's an entity. The Father's an entity. They're different deities, but they are powers, and the Father is the power above all. Okay? All right, let's make sure we understand that. All right? All right, now, 11. Believe in me, and I believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. All right? 12. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. So you see, he's letting you know, you can have the power, but it's going to take praise, worship, and prayer, because the Most High, he was getting that from his Son. He's got praise, worship, and prayer. You know he does. There's so many precepts and scriptures that show that Yahawashi was praising and worshiping his Father through prayer. He was definitely doing that, okay? So make sure you don't get that twisted. All right, 13, and whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. See? 14, if ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. If ye love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. See, this is giving you answers to what you're supposed to be doing when the tribulation kicks into full force high gear. Okay? All right? 17, and even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth within you and shall be in you. That's how you start to escape some of the judgments and punishments that's going on, because the Most High is not going to punish you if you have his Spirit in you that's righteous and working righteousness. What does he have a reason to punish you for? He doesn't at that point. 18, I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. Yet a little while, and the world seeth me no more. But ye see me, because I live. Ye shall live also. 20, at that day ye shall know that I am in my Father, and ye in me, and I in you. Okay, so that's telling you, You're going to be connected with the Most High in every capacity, and that's how the Most High is telling you the answers. These are the answers to what you're supposed to do when all the tribulation and the problems start having havoc on the entire world. He's telling you the answers right here. It's all red letter, okay? All right? 20. At the day ye shall know that I am in my Father, and ye in me, and I in you. 21. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him and will manifest myself to him. You see what I'm saying? The Most High is telling you how to do it, right? All right, so we're going to pull, let's see. Yahushua answered and said, I know Judas said unto him, not Iscariot, Lord, how is it that thou wilt manifest thyself unto us and unto the world, right? You know how he's going to do it when he show up in them chariots. Yahushua answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. That's how you stay protected. He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings, and the word which he hear is not mine, but the Father's which sent me. These things have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, or the Ruach HaKodesh, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance whatsoever I have said to you. See, that's how you get saved from the tribulation and make it through Jacob's trouble. He's giving you the answers right here. Okay? That's what I'm saying. We need to talk about and teach that part of it, not just the destruction. Yes, we have to teach the destruction, but we also can tell, like the Most High said, he's giving you the way out. Okay? And this is how he's telling you the way out here. Okay? All right? So he says here, all right, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Ye have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come again unto you. If ye love me, ye would rejoice, because I said I go unto the Father, for my Father is greater than I. And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it is come to pass, ye might believe. That's how you get saved out of this. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and hath nothing in me. So you know Esau Edom's bringing the pain, because the Most High is bringing that judgment. Are you going to be in the path? Are you riding in the car with a bunch of demons and devils where you're going to take a judgment hit? You need to get it right and get it straight. Okay? All right? 31. But that the world may know that I love the Father, and as the Father gave me commandment, even so I do. Arise, let us go hence. So the Father gave him commandment. He's giving it, and Yahushua is giving it to you. So he's giving you the answers on what it is you need to do. That's why I took you to John 14, and I had to read that so that you would know these are the answers that you're looking for in reference to how to get out of this mess. You go take a little skating, but you'll be all right. All right, and I'm going to read. I'm going to go to Ecclesiasticus here for a minute. Let's see. I want Ecclesiasticus, and I'm on chapter 2, Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Get your Apocrypha out. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. All right. So stay with me. All right. And I'm going to read this because this is important. So as soon as you're ready, all right, let me know. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 2. All right. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. See, he's telling you, going through what we're going through here, we got to deal with temptation. We're going to deal with what's coming. The Ruach HaKodesh is going to protect you, but you got to understand what you're in. The apostles always say, many times we don't. A lot of these men who doing this work or supposedly in this work and they're not doing it right. He said, you don't know what you're into. You have no idea what you're into. Okay, and that's what he's saying. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. All right, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased in thy last end. See, that's what you want. You want to be increased. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. In other words, he's saying you're going to struggle through this, but you know you're getting close to your salvation as it gets harder. So don't, he's closest to you when the worst times come. I know it's hard to believe, but that's what's going on. Okay? All right. 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Yea, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. 8. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. 9. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? No. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? No. Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Okay? 11. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. He's talking about Israelites, not heathens. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. So you can't be a punk in this situation. You're going to have to buck up and get into it and be brave. No betas. Got to be alpha. Let's roll. Okay? All right. 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Question. 15. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. 16. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well, pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. 17. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. That's what you got to be doing. You better be doing. 18. Saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. Okay? You see what I'm saying? The Most High is clearly letting you know he's on point. He's on top of it. Don't be faint-hearted. It's going to get rough. It's going to get tough. Praise, worship, and prayer together. You got to get this down. This is how you activate the power, and the answers come this way. All right? Now, let me go to Luke, and then I'm going to finish this off in Ezekiel. All right? So let me go to Luke. I'm going to Luke, and I'm going to go to chapter 19. All right? So meet me at Luke 19. Came out of the Apocrypha. Go to Luke 19. All right? All right. Now I want to go to 28. All right? So I'm going to read you 28. I'm going to read 28, 29. And when he had thus spoken, he went before, ascending up in Jerusalem. And it came to pass when he was come nigh to Bethphage and Bethany at the mount called the Mount of Olives, he sent 2 of his disciples, saying, Go ye into the village over against you, in which at your entering ye shall find a colt tied therein, yet never a man sat. Loose him and bring him hither. Okay? All right, now I'm going to go pop down to 41 real quick, and 41, 43. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, right? And 43, for the day shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round and keep thee in on every side. All right? My brother Malcolm, or my Reubenite brother Malcolm, was talking about how, they come at you and, they invading your space, but they act like they just doing drills. He said they outside your home and they're standing there with some sort of armament, and then they go to the back and they're in the street behind your home and they got some armament, and then when you dress up to try to protect yourself, they call you the worst, and they call you the one that's the bad guy, which is how devils operate. But what are you going to do, right? Except go to the Most High Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi and get delivered. All right, let's wrap it up. We're going to go to Ezekiel. I'm going to the book of Ezekiel. And here, I think I'm going to just go with, I pulled down Ezekiel chapter 6, right? And I think I had 10. Let's see here. All right. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, and that I have not said in vain that I would do this evil unto them. Thus saith the Lord power, smite with thine hand and stamp with thy foot, and say, alas, for all the evil abominations of the house of Israel, for they shall fall by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. See, the Most High is not playing, right? He's telling you that he is going to bring the pain, but he gave you the answers too. Now, I could go on and read more destruction and more judgment coming, but I wanted to make sure I accentuated the fact that the Most High is long-suffering. He loves his elect. He's going to save his elect. But, we do, as we teach, we need to do our disclaimers and let people know that the Most High he's in control of all things. It's like my title here, Yahawah, I the Lord do all these things. But at the same time, he also does the things in terms of giving you the way out, the answer, right? He always will tell you there's no temptation that come upon a man that he doesn't give you a way to get through it. That's roughly paraphrased, but you know what I'm saying. So this is what we need to understand. Deliverance is coming and answers are there. We're going to strive to do a better job of giving you both sides. We're going to tell you about the destruction because we have to prophesy about it, because that's indicators to tell you how close we are to salvation. But at the same time, we're going to also give you answers to what it is that you have to have in order to get your salvation. We're going to definitely give you those as well. And that's what we're striving to do, and that's what I was charged to do today, to give you some answers. Also, I know that my brethren are giving you information about destruction. You have to have that in order to know the balance and the difference. And this is what I'm just trying to accentuate to you today, so that you have this information and that you know how to operate when the Most High starts pouring, when he pours out that cup of wrath. Because when it comes out, there's going to be a lot of what you see now won't be available. We may not have this platform, we may not have communication at the level we should. We want to look at other options that the Most High has given us, because he will provide. You just have to trust in him and call for the answers. That's why Yahawashi said anything you ask in his name, he'll do. So yes, the destruction is unavoidable. It's got to come in order for us to get out of here. But at the same time, you can have answers. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. And that was the lesson, okay? The Most High, Yahawah, I, the Lord Yahawah, do all these things through Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. So that's the lesson for now. And if the Most High brings me another one, I'll be bringing it out. So, Shalom.